Welcome down to the grid for the mini all-comers race, which is celebrating the 50th anniversary of Swift Tune Engineering. Make sure you keep an eye out because there's actually 3 generations of the Swift family racing in this race today to mark that celebration. But starting in pole position, well, it's an all-comers race and this is a mini, but not as we know them. It's going to be a fantastic race. Let's go racing.
Thanks very much, Charlie. This then is how they line up with Harvey Deeth and Bill Richards on the front row of the grid. Pat Ford not there in third, so it's Lee Jones all alone on the second row, just clear of Nick Swift and David Franks as we get ready for the start. 50 minutes of racing gets underway now. It's a super start from Bill Richards. He and Lee Jones both get the jump on Harvey Deeth as they run towards Paddock Hill for the first time, with then Nick Swift there in 4th position. It's Peter Hills who's next along in 5th, and Hills goes around. Fortunately doesn't roll back into the path of the oncoming traffic. He should recover from there. Peter Hills in all manner of trouble early on as Richards tries to break clear of Lee Jones in the opening stages, because really that is the best opportunity for Richards, given just what a special car that Harvey Deeth is. The rest of the pack all beginning to get up to pace already. Deeth swarming in pursuit of Lee Jones as they run through Surtees on towards Clearways and through to complete the lap. Now these are going to be very, very rapidly reeled off laps here, because this leading group of cars, incredibly modified machinery, as into the gravel track goes Howard Affleck. It's a great shame for Howard. Unfortunately, he looks to be well and truly beached. Clark of the course has the same opinion, and therefore the safety car comes out whilst Affleck is recovered. Harvey Deeth, prior to the safety car having moved through to the front of the pack, has now got the advantage of being able to pace his restart, which he does now, and away we go. Meanwhile, Nick Swift has already got Niven Burge and Dave Drew lining up behind him as the field surged down the Raven Straight in towards Paddock Hill Bend, and Nick Swift, as ever, can be relied upon on the good show. Looks to swoop downhill in pursuit of Lee Jones. Already though, Harvey Deeth and Bill Richards beginning to build a little bit of a buffer at the front of the field. There is the 65 car of Glyn Swift, the most senior of the Swifts in the race. Son Nick is doing his very best to withstand the efforts of the mini milliers of Niven Burge and Dave Drew, who run in tandem behind him. A trio of cars flicking through Surtees. There is the white car of Dave Drew as they run around Clearways on to the Bramham Straight, and Niven Burge looks to try and line up a move in the slipstream behind Nick Swift as they head towards Paddock Hill Bend. They all get on the brakes and then flick downhill. There's where I see the Harvey Deeth well clear of Bill Richards. Then the gap to Lee Jones. Jones now breaking away from Nick Swift, who is busy having to drive as wide a car as possible from Niven Burge and Dave Drew, as Burge looks to try and draw alongside Swift en route towards Graham Hill Bend. Swift not having any of it, just parks the car to the inside of the road. In fact, Niven Burge, committed to that move, leaves himself vulnerable to a challenge from Dave Drew, who draws alongside and eases past into Surtees. Great stuff that from Dave. Now it's his turn to try and apply the pressure to the balanced on 3-wheeled car of Nick Swift. Laps being reeled off very rapidly. There is Hannah Swift, who is about to be caught by Bill Richards and Harvey Deeth. Now, is that a change to leader? I suspect it might be. So Bill Richards has found a way past Harvey Deeth, or has he? There's problems there for Richards, who is smoking and in fact pulls into the pit lane. So Bill Richards, having been right at the sharp end of the field, encountering a mechanical issue, he pulls out of the race. Nick Swift somehow continues to prevail in what's now the fight for third. Here is our race leader, Harvey Deeth. Here is the fight for third as Niven Burge once more attempts to pull alongside Dave Drew. Along Bradford Straight we go. Another lap reeled off in this, just a 15-minute race in the all-comers. They don't really have an awful lot of time to sort themselves out, probably time for just 16 or so laps, particularly with the brief intervention of the safety car until round Druids onto three wheels, all of them go. Here, meanwhile, is our race leader, Harvey Deeth. He accelerates along the Brabham Straight, not surprisingly, getting in and amongst a little bit of the traffic on his way. Swift will be desperately hoping that he doesn't encounter any traffic over the next few laps or so. He needs to conserve all his energies to keeping Dave Drew behind him. But this is mini racing, it's very, very best. Very clean stuff. They're giving each other just enough space, not any more than that, but just enough as they run along the straight, turn downhill into Paddock Hill Bend, and then climb up towards Druids. Burge looks to the outside of Dave Drew. Drew, in defending, just gives Nick Swift a little bit of breathing space. They have, in fact, got some traffic. It's Hannah Swift who they catch, and she does exactly what she'd have been told to in the driver's briefing, sticks to the racing line and makes the quicker cars do the hard work in terms of working their way around them. Now turning through clearways on to the Brabham Straight once more, and this time they all fan out almost three wide, not quite. Still somehow Nick Swift, who just keeps his nose in front as we head into another lap. But this is now very late in the race. Here is our second place car of Lee Jones, and here is our race leader and about to be race winner in the mini all-comers race featuring the Swift Tune 50th anniversary, because Harvey Deeth has, despite that poor start, controlled things immaculately thereafter, and it is Deeth who accelerates along the Brabham Straight now, and he is going to take victory in the all-comers race. The checker flag goes out. Lee Jones will take second place, but what about this fight for third? It's going to go all the way to the line. Nick Swift has driven formidably to withstand the pressure of the Mini Milliers. There is Jones, cross line in second place. Here comes the fight for third now as they come out of Clark Curve, sprinting along towards the checker flag, and it is Nick Swift who takes an excellent third place from Dave Drew and Niven Burge. Drivers acknowledging the marshals after a very entertaining all-comers race. So take a look then at the final classification. Victory for Harvey Deeth, second place to Lee Jones, third was Nick Swift from Dave Drew and Niven Burge. Glyn Swift an excellent 7th place, and Duncan Emmett completes the top 10.